in the draft from the 3rd to 12th, then back up to the 6th pick. And now Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk thinks Miami could still take whichever quarterback is still available at that slot, despite Tua Tagovailoa entering just his 2nd season here. So Florio projects that at least one, if not two, of the top 5 QBs could still be available when the Dolphins are on the clock between Justin Fields, Trey Lance, or Mac Jones in this situation. Shannon, should the Dolphins take a quarterback at 6?
I would not. Because if they take a quarterback at 6, Skip, they're still deficient at playmakers. I would take, if Kyle Pitts is there, I'll take Kyle Pitts. If Jamar Chase is there, I'll take Jamar Chase. If Devontae Smith is there, all those other 2 guys off the board, I would take Devontae Smith. I still have the 18th pick, Skip, to go in there and maybe get an offensive lineman to protect Tua. But, Skip, I believe you need to, because what you saw from Tua is, Skip, like you said, what did he have around him? He had Jerry Jeudy, he had Ruggs, he had Devontae, he had Waller.
Everybody.
So now, give him a similar situation. Put a Kyle Pitts, put a Jamar Chase, put a Devontae Smith, surrounded with some of that other Gesicki at tight end, I think Parker, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Give him as many weapons as you possibly can to make him successful. Now, Skip, Chan Gailey is out as offensive coordinator. Eric Studsville, I know him. He was the running back coach at Denver, filled in as a head coach for a minute. And George Godsey, they're now the co-offensive coordinators. I just believe, Skip, with Miami, because this division is not getting any easier. Buffalo's going to be to deal with.
Yep.
I believe the Patriots, I don't know what you think about the Patriots, but I believe they'll be better than what they were last year. So this is not going to be an easy division. I would take a skill position player. I would give Tua another year. It's hard for me to say, because you got to realize, Skip, the guy was coming off a major injury. So now he's a year removed from that injury. He's a year better in this system. Give him some playmakers. I believe Tua can be good enough to get you into the playoffs. With that defense, they're only going to get better. I would not take a quarterback at this position, in this spot. I would not.
And if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I swallow my considerable pride and I take a quarterback at number 6 because Tua will never, ever be the answer. I dug in on this ahead of his draft, and yet I dug in even more after I watched him last year because he has lost a lot of mobility because of his hip surgery. It was career-threatening.
Yes.
And reportedly, he had 5 different surgeries while he was still at Alabama. The 2 ankles, he had a knee, he had one other one. A
fractured finger.
Finger, yeah. And this hip surgery. And it took a lot out of him. He's only barely 6 feet tall, if that. And he's a soft armor. And then I hark back to the piece that was written in the Miami Herald. It was Armando Salguero's piece. He talked to 3 anonymously Dolphins players, and they were shocked that in game number 7 that Fitzmagic lost his job in favor of Tua. It shook up that locker room.
I raised my hand. I was shocked, too.
Yeah, okay. And according to the article, the players aren't sure whether Tua will ever be good enough to compete with the elite quarterbacks in the AFC. That's true. That's what I believe. Like, you'll always be frustrated because he's only this good, and they're that good and that good and that good all around you.
Right.
Even within the division. He'll never be as good as Josh Allen. I don't know who Belichick's going to wind up with. I don't know which way the Jets are going to go, but Zach Wilson, I don't think he'll ever be as good as Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's going to struggle if they throw him into the fire with what's left of the Jets.
Well, consider Zach Wilson going to the Jets. Any quarterback that's in that division going to be better than him because the Jets are terrible and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So one defensive player told the Miami Herald, not impressed with Tua's velocity, his arm strength, his ability to make off-schedule plays with his legs. All that changed with the surgery. He never had a strong arm to begin with. He had an accurate arm, but then he started getting beat up and he started losing his nerve in the pocket. He started losing some poise in the pocket because you just do.
That's what happens, Skip, is that when you take those, now he has to understand, I can't stand in here.
Yeah.
Because, Skip, he would wait to the very, very last minute, always trying to make a play.
Yeah.
And now, let that play go. Throw that ball out of bounds or get the heck up out of there. And like you said, he's not as mobile as he once was. Now, he was never Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson, but some of his mobility is going to be interesting to see how much of it comes back after a year of training and not the last 7-8 months of rehabbing. Because basically he was rehabbing to have his pro day to show that the hip was healthy enough for him to play. I thought this year was going to be a redshirt year.
Okay.
And I think a lot of the Dolphins was hoping, because they saw how well Fitz was playing, they're like, man, we got a chance to make the playoffs with Fitz.
They did. Yep. And yet all the teammates underscored the fact that they love Tua. He's a great kid. I got no issue with that. I'm just talking about his ability to perform at the highest level in this league.
Yeah, we could be friends.
I don't see it.
I want to win. We can still be friends.
Okay, I got it. So if in fact that those quarterbacks go in order with Mac Jones going third, so that would go, obviously, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. Then depending on what happens at 4 and 5, it's possible the Dolphins are going to be sitting there. It's possible they're going to be looking at Trey Lance or Justin Fields, right? They might.
Yes.
Do you love them?
Because we know the Bengals are not taking a quarterback.
I don't think so unless somebody trades to take a quarterback.
Right. They might trade out of that spot.
And Atlanta is at 4. Might they take one of them? They might. Might they?
That's a lot of money to get. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's going to be a lot of dead money. That'd be $40 million next year if you get up, $30-40 million if you get off of Matt Ryan.
Okay, I got it. So it's possible Cincinnati would be faced with Justin Fields or Trey Lance, to the point that if they don't take one of those kids and they turn into something, that those two will be pitted against Tua till death do you part. Right?
Well, he's already up against it. He already got to go against Justin Herbert for the rest of his career, because he went one pick after him to the Chargers. So anytime you have a guy in your draft class, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson. This draft class is going to be pitted. That's just the way it was, just like the 83 draft, just like the 04 draft with Roethlisberger, Eli, and Phillip Rivers, Skip. That's just the way it works, and you're right. And what makes it even worse, Skip, is that Zach Wilson is in that division.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is in that division. So now you got to see these guys twice a year.
Yep. So I told you, even with my Cowboys sitting at 10th, obviously Dak Prescott, now signed, sealed, and delivered till death do them part. He's got a leg up now on Jared Goff and on Carson Wentz, who went 1-2 in the draft that he went in the 4th round. Okay. But let's do Trey Lance, or whichever, Justin Fields or Trey Lance, but especially if Trey Lance slides to Dallas at 10, well, obviously they can't take him now.
Why not?
So they'll have to let him go.
Why not?
Well, because they bet the whole ranch.
But you say the upside.
They bet 2 ranches.
Upside.
Okay, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You've been pounding your side of the table for them to sign Dak.
Yeah, but
pay him whatever he wants, and they did.
They did.
They gave him every last penny of exactly
it's your own fault.
what he demanded.
You should have bought it when it was a bargain price.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is, let's say Trey Lance slides past him. Let's say he falls to Belichick at 15. Let's say he instantly becomes a star in New England. Let's just do the hypothetical.
Well, a lot of people are going to get fired.
Well, I'm going to be shaking my head over, my God, we could have had Trey Lance.
Exactly.
We could have just sit right there, and we could have had Dak on one more year of franchise tag at, what is it, close to $38 million. But that's a bargain for me to have 1 year of Dak and just let him walk, let him go, and we'll take Trey Lance and have him ready to go.
But Skip, the cap number is only $22 million. You want the cap hit of $38 million?
Yeah, I'd take it if I thought Trey Lance, again, do I think Trey Lance is going to be better than Dak Prescott? I do.
You do?
In the long run, I do.
Well, how you going to win How you going to win a Super Bowl with a guy that hadn't even been drafted that you think is going to be better than the quarterback?
I just think his upside is higher. I just think he's got more ability. That's why Dak fell to the 4th round.
Cowboy Nation, y'all heard that? Well, so how you expect to win a Super Bowl?
Dak?
Yeah.
Well, got to get lucky.
Skip Bayless, am I hearing you correctly? You say in order for the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl, the Cowboys have to get
from the start. Again, I love Dak, but I love my team more. I told you that from the start. He's making way more money than he is worth. I told you that the day he signed. What aren't you hearing from me?
Skip.
I told you that.
I told you.
You loved it. You celebrated because you knew he was way overpaid. This is the guy you gave Fs to 6 times in his last 13 games in 2019.
But when you were explaining to the people at home why he shouldn't get the money, you also gave him F. You say he deserved it. You gave him F, but he deserved it. He didn't play well. You listed the game. You listed New Orleans. You listed the Eagles. You listed the Patriots.
Well,
you listed all. Yeah, you listed all those teams.
Games. He played horrible by his standards. By the standards we saw him play in 2016 and 2018 when they won the division, especially in 2018 after he got Amari, because they got off to a 3-5 start. But did I see that guy in 2019? I saw it in the first 3 games, but as you said, it's against trash teams, right?
So you want to buy out the cases? Give me 3 cases right now. I'll let you buy out.
Buy out of what?
For the division.
No, we got the division. That's easy. That's by default.
Give me 3 cases right now. I'll let you go. I'll let you off the hook.
No, let's increase it to 10 cases. I'll do 10 cases right now. I'm talking about winning Super Bowls.
And you say you got to get
now you paid Dak the kind of money. He better win 1 Super Bowl in the next 4 years.
So if he so if he wins 1 Super Bowl,
then he's justified. Yeah, the money is justified. You do realize he got the biggest signing bonus and the most guaranteed money any quarterback in the history of the league got. Well, how am I supposed to defend that? I can't defend it because it's more than he's worth.
No. Well,